If I woke up tomorrow and everything was gone, my ad accounts banned, my Shopify stores deleted, all my winning products dead, and I had $0 to start over, I'd actually be excited. Because I'd have something that I didn't have 8 years ago when I first started. All my experience, years of trial and error, and I would know exactly what to do. See, when I first started, I wasted months trying to find the perfect product, chasing whatever was trending on TikTok, and trying to guess what would go viral next. And it took me years to realize that you don't need thousands of dollars to start dropshipping, and it doesn't have to be that complicated. It all comes down to following the right process. So here's exactly what I do, step by step. The process that I wish someone had shown me before I burned years finding it myself. But before I give you the steps, you need to understand why most people who watch videos exactly like this one still fail anyways. Because it's honestly not what you think. You see, it's not the wrong product, it's not a lack of money, it's that they're playing a slot machine when they should be playing poker. A slot machine takes one skill, deciding how much to bet, and that's it. You pull the lever and you sit there and you hope. The house sets the odds and the house always wins. Now poker though is a completely different game. It's reads, probabilities, patterns, decisions, where the more you play, the better that you get, and your skill continues to compound. Now most beginners, they are like slot machine players. They find a product that feels lucky, they spend their budget on it, and they just hope that it hits. And when it doesn't, they then find another product and then spin again. But that's not dropshipping. That is gambling with extra steps. Successful dropshippers though, they play poker. They're running a machine that tests 10, 20, and even 30 products. Not because they're guessing more, but because they've built a system that finds winners cheaply and cuts losers fast. And when they find a winning product and a winning ad, they don't celebrate and move on. They make 5 different versions of that winning ad, test different opening lines, different angles, different approaches, and they keep squeezing until the numbers stop improving. They treat dropshipping like a testing system, not a treasure hunt. And here's the trap that keeps most beginners at that slot machine, is that they continue to obsess over the store design before they even made a single sale. They spend weeks on a logo, they copy trends on TikTok without adding any angle that makes someone stop scrolling. And by the time they're finally ready to test their first product, they burn $500 on things that have never even made anybody a single dollar. Your logo does not make you money. Your store design does not make you money right away. Your ads are what make you money. And your ability to test fast is what finds winners. So if I had to start over, I wouldn't touch anything that doesn't move that needle. I would just go straight into building the system. And step 1 is where most people already lose, before they spent a single dollar on ads. Listen, before you test a single product, you need a store that doesn't make people close the tab the second they land on it. That's the whole goal. It doesn't need to be the most prettiest thing, it doesn't need to be the most impressive, but it does have to have a professional foundation that you can build on. And that's where it used to get painful. You see, a few years ago, this meant starting from a blank page, picking a theme, building out every section, and staring at an empty store, wondering if it looked legit. Where most beginners would be spending a week on this before they even thought about finding a product. But luckily, AI just killed that entire problem. Where now you just answer a few quick prompts, and a free AI store builder will auto-generate the whole framework for you. Homepage, product page templates, banners, testimonial sections, bundle layouts, all built out and ready to go. It even drops in starter products based on your niche that you pick, so you're not staring at an empty store. You can see what a finished shop looks like on day 1. And if you want to follow along, the link is in the description. And it'll take you straight to this free AI store builder. And then once you get on this page, the first thing you need to do is just go ahead and enter your contact information. From here, it's then going to ask you to go ahead and choose your niche. You're going to see options like sports and fitness, pets, electronics, fashion. But if you're not sure yet, you can also hit the not sure button. And that's going to give you the most flexible starting point, and that is what I'm going to go ahead and do here. Next, you want to pick 2 banner images that fit your vibe. Now, don't overthink this. You can swap these out anytime that you want later, as this is your store. Then the next step is going to ask you to sign up with Shopify. And you can actually start Shopify right now with a 100% free trial, and your next 3 months only being $1 using the link inside the store builder. Then once you sign up for Shopify, you've now done what 99% of people are not capable of doing, and that is opening up your first store. So from here, you're just going to take the Shopify store URL and then paste it back in the store builder and then hit save. And just like that, you've now got a store with a real layout and placeholder products that are already loaded in. At this stage, you are 90% done, and the heavy lifting is now handled. Now all that's left from here is the little stuff that just makes it customized to you. So drop in your logo, add a few testimonials, write your product descriptions, throw in an offer. 30 minutes, maybe less. And the whole thing is completely free to do. So if you're starting off with no budget, no excuses. You just went from zero to a professional Shopify store without spending a single dollar. But here's what most people don't realize. You can have a perfect store and still never make a sale. Because the store isn't what finds you a winner. Your habits are. And most people's habits are killing them before they even get started. That's why step 2 is creating the habit that separates people who find winners from people who keep waiting for one. You see, most beginners are going to treat product research like a hobby. They do it when they feel motivated, they quit when something doesn't work, and then they take a week off after a bad result. And that's exactly why they never build momentum. The shift is treating product research like a recurring bill. It gets paid every week, whether you feel like it or not. And here's what that looks like in practice. Set a weekly goal to research and shortlist 3 to 5 new products. Not launch them, not build ads, just find them, vet them, and add them to your testing queue. How do you know if a product is worth testing? Simple. You just need to see other stores that are already selling it and making legitimate money from it. Real competitors running real ads mean real money is being spent. And that means it's already converting for someone, and that is your green light. And whenever you're starting off with zero budget, you can do this manually. Scroll TikTok Shops tab, look for products with strong engagement, and purchase comments. It's slow, but this process definitely does work. And once you've got $1, for the next 30 days, you can use a tool like AutoDS to show you actual sales data so you're not guessing. But the manual method does get you started today. And 3 to 5 products a week, that's the whole habit that you need to install with yourself right now. Because if you do that consistently for a month, you will then have 20 products vetted and ready to test. And even at a 10% hit rate, you're still walking away with 2 winners, which is more than enough to build a real Shopify store with. But I'll be real, here's where most people stall out. They find a winner and then they accidentally kill it. If you're starting with literally $0, you can't buy data, you have to earn it. Most people go on Instagram and TikTok and just post one video, get 200 views, and they end up quitting. But in 2026, the algorithm is a volume game. And I'm posting 5 to 7 times a day, every single day for every single product. Now look, I know what you're thinking. 5 to 7 posts a day, that is a full-time job. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it is going to be hard work, but you have to understand the trade-off. In this business, you either pay with your wallet or you pay with your sweat and time. And if you don't have the cash to buy ads yet, you have to spend your time to build the engine. But here's the secret. You aren't making 7 different movies. You're making one core video and hitting post on TikTok, IG Reels, and Facebook Reels. And you're not even making a full movie production. You're just making a 60-second workflow. And then out of those 40 videos that you post in a week, one of them is definitely going to pop. You'll see the engagement going in, the views going up, the comments start humming, and you actually might even see your first 3 or 4 sales rolling in for free. Now that video is not just a post, now that video is your winning creative. Where because you've now generated sales from this organically, you could take that organic profit, that first $100 or $200 you made, and then put it right back into the machine. Where you take that viral post and you turn it into your first paid ad. Where at that point, you are no longer guessing if the ad will work. You already know it works because the internet and the data have already told you so. So then once you find a product and one of your organic ads that are working, you see most people here make the same mistake. They find one that converts, they see the numbers, and they decide to go ahead and start running ads with it. And then after a couple days, the ad completely dies. And then they sit there and they think that the product is dead. Well, the product isn't dead, just the ad that you're running is exhausted. So here's the shift. Think of every ad that you run as a salesman that you're putting to work. They're out there 24 hours a day, no sleep, no sick days, no salary, just closing sales on your behalf while you're doing literally anything else. But here's the thing about salesmen. One is good, but having an army of salesmen, that is having a real business. So when you find a winning ad, that is not the finish line. That is your blueprint. So what you should do is take that winning ad and then build multiple variations off of it. Different hooks, opening lines, visuals, different tones, same core concept, but multiple different executions. Where the more tiny salesmen you have working, the more data that you get, the faster you find what actually converts, and the harder your store works without you. Now the question is, well then how do you actually make these ads? Especially when you're starting from zero. Well, this is where Creatify, a tool that I was introduced to last year and haven't stopped using it since, would become an unfair advantage for you. Creatify lets you generate UGC style video ads without being on camera, without a production budget, and without any prior experience making ads. And I use it the same way I'm telling you to. starting on the free plan, learning how to build ads, and then just getting a feel for what works. Then when you're confident and you're ready to start pushing volume, you then upgrade and start building that army at scale. That's the whole point of the step, not just to find a winner, but multiplying it. This is how you go from making $100 a day to making $1,000 a day on the same product. And don't worry, I got you guys with the link in the description below if you want to go ahead and try it out today. Now, this is the most important part of the entire system, and it's where majority of people completely fail. And that's that they just don't know their numbers. In dropshipping, you need to know your break even and your scale numbers. You should be able to ask yourself and know the answer of what is the maximum that you can spend to acquire a customer and still be profitable. But if you don't know it already, let me go ahead and walk you through the math. Okay, so let's say that you're selling a product for $40. And let's say that your cost of goods is $15. And your transaction fees and shipping add up to $5. That means your profit per sale before ad spend is $20. So your break-even cost per acquisition is right around $20. That means that your profit per sale before ad spend is $20. So your break-even cost per acquisition is $20. So if you're spending more than $20 to acquire a customer, well, you're losing money. If you're spending less than $20, you're making money. It's that simple. Now here's where it gets powerful though. If you know your break-even cost per acquisition is $20 and your first testing campaign is getting a cost per acquisition of $30, you know immediately that this product isn't working and you should just kill it and move on. But if your cost per acquisition is $18, well, you know that you got a great product on your hands. And this is why tracking your numbers is so important. So you're never sitting out there guessing or hoping. You're always making data-driven decisions. Let me go ahead and just show you a simple spreadsheet. Product price, $40. Cost of goods, $15. Shipping plus fees, $5. And profit per ads, $20. And you can see that your break-even cost per acquisition is now $20. So if cost per acquisition equals $30, you kill it. If it equals $20, it breaks even. And if it equals $18 or less, scale it. This is your retirement calculator for dropshipping. And you need to know these numbers for every product that you test. So here are the 4 numbers that you need to track every single day. The first being profit margin. How much are you actually keeping after product cost, shipping, and fees? Second is cost per acquisition. How much are you spending in ads to get one customer to purchase from you? Third is return on ad spend. For every dollar that you put into ads, how many dollars are you getting back? And fourth, your break-even cost per acquisition. What's the maximum that you can spend to acquire a customer and still be profitable? Every day and every week, pull up a simple spreadsheet and just track these 4 numbers. That's it. And that's what allows you to make data-driven decisions instead of emotional ones. If you want to rebuild a store from zero and scale it fast, you got to treat it like a business. You need to track your numbers and make decisions based off of data and not feelings. But here's what most people don't realize. You can have the right system, the right habits, the right numbers, and still watch it all fall apart because of the tools underneath it. The wrong supplier misses a fulfillment. The wrong setup costs you a week of setup time you didn't have. The foundation cracks before you ever even had the chance to get traction. So let me go ahead and tell you exactly what tools I'd use if I was starting from scratch today. And let me keep this simple because most people overcomplicate it. When I was starting out, I thought I needed every tool, every app, every plugin, and I was dead wrong. You really only need 3 things and that's it. First is Shopify. That's just your store. And right now you can get a free trial and $1 a month for the next 3 months. So there's really no reason not to start. Second is a reliable supplier. Now I use TeamDrop because from day one, you get AI powered sourcing and a private agent that you can actually contact. Not a random AliExpress seller that you're hoping shows up. I mean a real person handling your orders. And when you're just starting out, one fulfillment disaster can kill your entire store before it gets traction. So do not risk it. And third is a product research tool. Now I use AutoDS TikTok Analytics because it shows you actual sales data. Not views, not likes, real purchase data. Where you're never guessing what might work, you're looking at what is already working that is backed by data. That's the major stack. Shopify, TeamDrop, and AutoDS. And look, I'm gonna be real with you for a second. I remember having all this information laid out right in front of me and still making the wrong moves. Not because I wasn't watching the right videos or I didn't understand the concepts. I understood them. I just had nobody in my corner telling me, use this app or run your ads this way or fix this number, it's not working. And I'm gonna be real, a couple years ago, that cost me over $20,000 in losses. And what kills me is that none of that had to happen in the first place. If I just had one person who would actually look at my numbers and knew what I was doing before I made the wrong move, they would have saved me from all of it. So if you're at a point right now where you feel like you have all the information, but you're still not sure that you're applying it right, that is not a you problem. That is a support problem. This is exactly why I built my one-on-one mentorship, where you'll have myself and my team in your corner every single day of the week, reviewing your stores, your products, your ads, your numbers, and telling you what to fix before it costs you. Now, I do want to be upfront that we currently only have 3 spots left, and we keep it that way on purpose because this isn't a course that you buy and forget. This is hands-on every day of the week, and I'm not going to water it down by taking on more people than we can actually show up for. So if that sounds like something that you've been missing, the link to apply is in the description. Let's see if you're a good fit before those spots are gone. All right, so real quick before you go, let's go ahead and fully recap what we just covered. Step 1, get your store up. Use the free AI store builder link in the description. It's gonna take you 30 minutes max to complete. Step 2, build the research habit. Find 3 to 5 products a week, every single week, and treat it like a recurring bill. Step 3, post organically until you find a couple winning ads and you have made some sales. Step 4, when you find a winner from your organic posting, then reinvest your profit into running ads. But don't just only run one ad, build off of your winners. Create multiple variations and hooks off of it. Keep iterating, and then let those ads work for you around the clock. Step 5, know your numbers. Right after this video, figure out what your break-even cost per acquisition, profit margins, and ROAS are. Then use them to make the right type of decisions and pull them up every single day of the week. That is what's gonna keep you from making moves that cost you. Look, I've been doing this for 8 years now, and I promise you that the people who win aren't the ones who find the best product. They're just the ones who build the best systems and stay consistent with it. And if you're ready to go deeper on any of this, here's what your homework is. I have now made a full beginner's guide that walks you through every single thing from day one, breaking down step by step on exactly how to start dropshipping the right way. What you need to do next is go directly to that video and watch it, and be ready for your life to transform forever. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and following along. I'll see you in that next video. This is AC with Supreme Ecom, and I'm out.